Hello, my mic's working this week. Hey, if you're here expecting Forbidden Lands, this is Alien. Welcome. We switched it up after the schedule went out for the week. This book just hit the Colonial Marines Operations Manual, and it was too good to pass up.
No video.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Now they can see us. Thank you, Brendan. Now you can see us, and it's not Forbidden Lands. It's Alien. Thank you for joining us, everybody. We're switching it up. We're doing Alien, the Colonial Marines Frontier War campaign, starting this week. I threw it out there that we're going to do this every other week, but I think we might just do it weekly. Sorry, guys. Made an executive decision that we're just going to do this till it's over.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this. Hoorah. Boots on the ground, Marines. So we're going to kick off the Frontier War campaign, which is a direct continuation to Destroyer of Worlds. Hopefully there won't be any spoilers for people. We'll try not to do any spoilers. But the way this works is it is a 7-mission campaign. It is not cinematic play. Everything we've seen from Alien so far has been the cinematic play. We've had a 3-act structure. Things have evolved and gotten worse and worse and worse as they react, and people's agendas have changed. This is a campaign. We're going to start out. There is a grand meta plot going on, and these Marines hopefully are going to uncover it as they make their way through the Frontier War, and we build to that last mission. Or they'll just die. I don't know. But, it starts tonight. I need to give a special thanks to Brendan for building us our overlays for this stream, this beautiful overlay we're in, and to Millie, who also made us that awesome intro that you just watched. So, without further ado, let's do introductions. We'll do the roundtables. People can plug what they got going on, and save your descriptions for your characters. How about we do that? We'll do that in-game. How does that sound? Good? Okay.
Yep.
Jen, you're up first.
I'm up first. Oh no. Okay. Hi, my name is Jen. I am Gentendo on Twitch. I play Animal Crossing and sometimes Resident Evil Village because I love that game so much. And if you ever want to talk about it with me, you're welcome to. And that's basically it.
Jen and Tyler talked about it at length last week.
Sweet.
After the game. And shared
So
memes.
fun.
I can confirm.
I have to send you a new one, actually, Jen. It's
Oh
so good.
yes.
Oh my god, so good. After.
Okay. After. Definitely not during the game.
No, I'm not going to do that. I won't
Definitely
do
not
that
during the game. That won't happen.
No, I don't want to be killed out the bat.
You run Alien, you know I can do that.
Yep.
Tyler definitely sent me a Twitter message during the game.
Say it, Tyler. You're targeted. You're first to go. Your old man is gonna fall.
That's why I'm playing old man.
You're
so
2
it makes
HP.
sense. 2 HP. Oh, he's so
Oh,
good.
no.
I love him so much.
All right, Tyler. What do you got going on? What do you have going on outside of this?
So I have my own channel on Twitch. Foolish GM is I, and I am. What am I gonna get up to? I mean, I do this. I run my own game called Law and Honor every other Friday. I did it last Friday. I won't be doing it this one, but the one after. On June the 3rd, I have my first paid game for running that and giving it its big showcase. Should be pretty awesome. And I'm hoping this week that I will be doing a lot of playthroughs of Fable 3 because I just I just grabbed it recently. I just was able to find it and get a key to play it, and
That's an
haven't.
oldie.
Oh, it is so fun to replay. I've just been getting lost in it. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do this week, hopefully. So keep an eye out on that and Twitter, also Foolish GM.
Okay. All right, Tyler. Bill, what do you got going on?
Hey, I'm Bill. In real life, you can call me Bill. If you're looking for me, you can find me in such places as here and now. Also, next week. Then. That's it for me.
All right, thanks, Bill. Evan, what do you got going on?
Tuesdays we're gonna be playing on Gar Black Games at the same time, 9 CST. We'll be doing some more 5th edition. If you want to see Matt cry due to my character's damage, you should go watch it because it's very funny.
I have not cried yet. I've not shed a single tear.
Wow.
In fact,
you did say yet.
I have almost dropped you in combat. Just saying.
What do you mean?
Aaron, on the other hand, I haven't even touched. I haven't scratched, but you... I don't know. You run and hide up trees. Just saying.
As I should, as
As
any
I
archer
should.
would.
But then he does kill baby kaijus in 2 rounds by
Yeah,
himself. So
we weren't going to talk about that. All right, Aaron, what do you got going on this week?
same Tuesday night we'll be at trying to escape Skullcano Island, and then Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time I'll be back on Garblag Games playing Warhammer Fantasy 4th Edition roleplay. That's that.
All right.
We're trying to survive this campaign.
This campaign. Yeah, we'll see how. So we are on a frigate. We're on a frigate. So if you do die, there are other Marines and other squads and platoons that you can pull from and insert into this campaign. You could make new ones. There are pre-gens. Everybody in here has made their own soldier. They've used the rules from the brand new Colonial Marines Operations Manual supplement that's been released on PDF. So that's why if you look underneath their dog tags, it actually lists like their MOS. So you see things like snipers and comtechs and medics and things like that, smart gunners that aren't part of the basic game. So we are diving fully in the supplement, using all the rules and going through the campaign. So the 5 of you are all serving on the Tam Etan frigate. You were headed to the front lines. Actually, you were headed back home. Your home was Ariakis. Fort Nebraska was your base of operations. Recently, you, as of right now, have been broken up out of cryosleep unexpectedly. You're all groggy. There are alarms going off on the ship. People around you are like getting up out of cryosleep as well, kind of staggering around. You've got COs shouting at everyone to get out of their pods, get ready, get in uniform, as there's an emergency assembly. We're going to go around here. Jen, what's your character? I can't pronounce your character's name.
Aradia?
Aradia. You're the
Aradia.
first. You're the first to wake. What's your general disposition? What do you do? What do you look like? Can you describe yourself as you're waking up out of cryosleep to this
Sure.
racket all around you?
So Aradia is towering for a woman. She's like 6'2",
Yeah.
and she is bulky, like a very bulky woman. She also has tons and tons of scars everywhere, including as she's coming out of cryosleep, she's probably wearing just, a tank top and like her normal, like whatever basketball short equivalent is happening on the ship. And you can see she has a pretty significant wound, like a heel over scar, like right above her, like where her heart is. And so general disposition is just annoyed because she's done this a lot before. And so she's not used to things going, she's not comfortable with things not going according to plan. So she seems a little sus. And that's Aradia.
Right. So your squad's android, by the name of Roy, is there, and he's waking you all up out of your cryo tube. So he's kind of like the first thing you see. Roy is average height. He's got bleach blonde hair. He's kind of got a permanent brow and a little bit of crazy eyes going on. But you've worked with Roy. You trust him. He's a good android, and he's there kind of assisting you as you get up, and he's punching the buttons on the cryo tube next to you and waking up Seth, who is next.
Seth pulls himself out, probably almost, falling out as his legs are probably still asleep. But old man Seth, he looks. The picture that I posted in our Discord chat for this, if anyone has ever played that or any of the games, but Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, The End, the sniper old man who's just in a wheelchair the whole time. Essentially, that's what this guy is, except he can walk, and he has an eye patch over his right eye, and he's wearing probably like a tank top and some fatigue pants, and his arms are like scarred up and everything. But he just kind of like gets up, and once he gets settled and Roy helps him out, which he accepts the help from Roy all the time. He's like, "Oh, thanks, buddy. Always glad to have you around." In little to no time, he'll just throw his stuff on. He likes everything to be neat if possible. You can see that he has like a little hairbrush that he like combs over his white hair before putting a helmet on, and has a little medal, his commendation medal that he cleans, has it nice and shiny, and puts it right on front.
Yeah. So
And
Roy actually has your fatigues, your clothes and everything ready for you, folded with your medal on
Yay.
top, and a brush. He knows your routine.
I love it.
Roy's no nonsense. He
thank
doesn't
you.
have much of a sense of humor, but he looks out for the squad
Yay.
till he
I say
kills
thank
you.
you. Aw, no.
Oh, not all androids are bad. All right, we scan over. Next, we see Clarence waking up
Yeah.
out of his pod.
Clarence AW Revolver. AW stands for Artificial Womb Soldier. He looks like a bloody science experiment. This guy is a brick shithouse with the biggest strength you could possibly have in this game. He is a forward observer, and normally those would be small, sneaky guys. He does not look like he fits that mold at all. First thing he does is strap his katana to his back, which for some stupid reason he thinks he's himself a ninja, and carries it absolutely everywhere he goes. He has a constant smirk on his face, like he's got a joke that nobody seems to be aware of. The joke, though, is that he has complete disdain for everyone around him and doesn't think anybody measures up. He's been bred to be a soldier, and he doesn't think anybody else should be there with him.
Ooh. Does he wear Zubaz? So friended. Yes. All right. So you're getting up and out of your pod. And yes, I know what Zubaz are. As you do so, you notice out of the corner of your eye Staff Sergeant Zimborski, who is your direct CO, and he's your NCO, and he's a bit of a hard ass. He comes barreling into the room as Roy's helping Seth up, and Aradia, you're getting up, and he looks over at you, Revolver. I can't call you that with a straight face, Clarence. He says, "Wipe that smirk off your face, Private, and get your fatigues on ASAP. We've been called into an emergency meeting with the General themselves. Get the rest of these clowns up and in order." And he kind of spins on the spot and he takes off. He's a real hard ass. Nobody really likes him. Next, we're going to jump over to Quill. You wake up next. Go ahead and describe yourself.
Sure. Quill's probably the complete opposite of Clarence. A very skinny, very young-looking face. He has small glasses on his nose, and he seems to constantly always look like he's like sweating or nervous. Like he kind of like is always rubbing his hands, and you can see occasionally he has like a thumb drive or like a USB that he occasionally like twirls around like a nervous like tick.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't look like he's a Marine or he fits or belongs here at all. But nonetheless, he has now been called to duty as once in the kind of cyber field as a comtech. He has now been called to the front lines for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. All right. Last but not least, we have our last soldier waking up here. And that is Hiro Hanzo.
So Hiro Hanzo wakes up and then very deliberately swings his legs out of his pod, plants his feet firmly. Perfect economy of motion, nothing wasted. Sits up straight, and his eyes just scan the entire bay, looking and acknowledging everyone's presence. He's got immaculately perfect high and tight, and his eyes are almost a dead shark black. He stretches his back, glances down to a shell casing next to his dog tags, makes sure that it's still firmly attached, then stands and walks over to his locker without actually physically acknowledging anyone.
All right. So you all 5 of you have served together once before. This isn't your first time out. You are a unit. You are still pretty green, though. But you have been out before. Like I said, you're headed back home. You were out on a mission. War, or rumors of war, have broken out in frontier space where you were stationed on Fort Nebraska. Everybody's up in arms. You can hear chatter and talk all around you as the other squads and platoons are getting ready and they're dressed. Alarms are going off. And you hear someone nearby say UPP have nuked Fort Nebraska. And this is all out war.
What? Is what Sif would yell out essentially after hearing that for sure. Like, yeah. What?
Yeah, as Seth, you just kind of shout out, like, oblivious, what was that? Private Gerald Wayne Finks from one of the other companies, or as you guys call him, Rat Fink, he turns around and he says, yeah, they nuked Fort Nebraska. It's gone. Ariakis, it's gone. UPP dropped something. They talked about some strange ships and some black goo and people turned into things. Next thing you know, there's nukes being dropped on the planet. We're going to go take it back to the UPP. They've started a war. We're going to bring it.
Sergeant Riverby, is any of this substantiated?
Okay, hold on. Let me check it out. I got this. He pulls out like his data slab, trying to look up for like some sort of news article or something. He's like nervous. You just talking to him in general, like even though he's like the command.
And Hanzo is uncomfortable close. He's standing about one pace too close to you at full attention, so your noses are almost touching. He's like, Sergeant, we need information.
Yeah, okay. One second. Just hold on. He's like backs up a little.
Seth like walks slowly, puts a hand on Hero's shoulder, and says, "Give him some time. He'll get there. Just, he's got to work that doodad. He'll get it working. No problem."
Hero's head snaps to the right. Yes, Chief. And then spins on his heels and walks towards the arms locker.
Oh, Roy!
Like we get a chance to prove ourselves.
Roy just kind of steps in, interjects, just again like devoid of any like emotion or anything. He says, "That is correct. Reports are that Ariakis is no longer there. Or Fort Nebraska has been wiped out. There is rumor of border bombers that are bombing planets and launching biological attacks. And that is why you've been woken up prematurely."
I wish I still had my good eye. I could help out more, but I'll keep you young folks alive. Don't you worry.
With that, Staff Sergeant Zaborski comes back in and he goes, "Seth, cut off that damn beard. It's not regulation."
Okay, but you got it. He goes and starts he's like, Roy, get out the tweezers.
Tweezer.
He's gotta get his ears and eyebrows fixed too. They're all
get in uniform. Make sure your boots are polished. Make sure everything is crisp and clean because you're going in front of the general. She's called an assembly right now.
Oh God. Oh, okay.
I'll pull out my sword, look at Seth, and say, "I can help you pretty quick there.
Okay, let's go."
Just get that beard off of you."
I'm just quietly suiting up while all this chaos is happening.
You're just putting your clothes on. You're just like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Seth just waits to get trimmed by Clarence.
He's gonna take your ear. You know that, right?
Put it on his necklace.
No, it's my ear.
So the five of you get ready. Roy assists as best as he can. You eventually make your way to the assembly hall where all of the different squads, platoons, everybody who is serving on the Tamatan is currently waiting. You can see at the front of the assembly, you see that your lieutenant, your Kilo Company, and Kilo Company's commanding officer, Lieutenant Maria Casados, is there. That's who your staff sergeant reports to directly. Staff Sergeant Adam Zaborski is with you as well as your android. So at the front of the room, you see your lieutenant. You see a squad of Marines known as the Black Guard, and they're all artificial womb soldiers who are kind of like General Vaughn's like private lapdogs. She sends them out on her missions. They wear Marine issued armor, but it's painted all black. They're all artificial wound soldiers, and they're like tough sons of bitches. If you think that that Clarence there is big and bad, these guys beat him by a mile. And they're at the front of the assembly, and everybody's like whispering and murmuring, and there's rumors going all about of what's happening. You hear nukes, UPP, all-out wars breaking out on the frontier. And all of a sudden there's a hush as General Vaughn enters the assembly room. She's average height woman. She strides in with confidence. She's got very chiseled, battle-hardened look to her. And she walks to the front of the assembly. Let's see here. Yeah. And she addresses the room. She says, "Fort Nebraska orphans, you are not alone. I am here before you because I also lost friends and family on Ariakis. Like you, I want payback. I want the heads of those bastards who took out our home. And to get them, I need you." She points to the whole room. "I need your guns, I need your fists, and I need your brains. When you're out there, find me evidence that the UPP is responsible for these border bombings. You see something that don't look quite right? Bring it home to me. Find me anything we can use to get Secretary Cruz to say yes to kicking Union asses way back over the borderline." And with that, everybody whoosh, salutes, and you hear like, "Hoorah!" And the general exits the assembly with her black guard in tow. And everybody's left there just kind of like looking at one another, and everybody's talking about, like, "Can't believe what, they blew it up? Like, this is it? We're at war? The front lines? Like, what does this mean?" What do the group of you want to do?
Sergeant.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should volunteer first available mission. It's time to get into the field.
Yeah, we were on like the same brain length. I'm almost, yeah. I'll go ask the lieutenant. He like nervously walks away.
Do you think she literally wants us to bring back heads?
I think so, Clarence.
I think it's a
She seemed very. I respect
metaphor.
that in a leader.
We should cover our bases just to make sure.
Yeah,
I'll bring an empty backpack.
Sounds
starts
good.
writing notes. I'll ask. So I'll walk up. I guess I'll just walk up to the staff sergeant. I don't want to go straight to the lieutenant because that'll probably.
Yeah, he goes over to you and he says, "What is it? Weatherby, Quilby. What's your name? Quilby?"
Oh, Quill Riverby. You're close. So, as squad leader, we would like to volunteer ourselves for the first mission.
Volunteer for the first mission? Are you crazy? You're green. You're not ready for this.
It's been requested by at least one member, and I believe I should listen to him just because of the repercussions that could potentially happen, sir.
He rolls his eyes. All right. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can get you. Go. Get some downtime. Go get some grub. Get some chow. I'll find out what's going on. Listen, we just got told what's happening here. I don't know of any missions yet. You're a little eager, aren't you?
Personally, it's not me, but yes, we'll do that.
Dismissed.
Right. He just turns around.
Sure, yeah, cool. Okay, bye.
See ya, bro.
Bye.
Don't call me bro.
Oh, that wasn't actually me.
Don't ever call me bro.
So, they said that we should. There's no missions yet, but maybe we can get the first one.
All right, Sergeant. Permission to go to the armory and field strip my weapon and clean it in preparation for our eventual missions.
Yes. Permission granted.
Clear. Turns about face and walks off.
I think Hanzo is not impressed with
He nods his head. All right, I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
With Riverby. All right. Yeah, your lieutenant, she kind of nods and she looks over to your Staff Sergeant Zaborski, but does not make contact with the squad themselves. But everybody seems pretty shaken by this news. It's pretty unheard of to have a nuke dropped, especially on a Marine base.
Yeah. Can I do some research about the black goo that they're talking about, just because of what my rolled background was?
What's your rolled background?
I was on a colony that had infected colonists, and I had to kill them.
Oh,
Killed.
no wonder Quill is so... He's just traumatized, that's
Yeah, if you want, you can roll me medical aid.
Oh, okay, great. I'm really good at that.
Seth's really great at that. I got a bunch of books.
Hey,
I've
So you
read
can
many
keep yourself
books.
alive. That's so
You-
you can keep yourself alive, Seth.
Yeah.
This is not
Nope.
even with your
Don't get a heart attack.
success on your die. You've heard rumors. There's like weird rumblings. People talk about like an alien culture, possibly, but that's ridiculous. That's been dropping these bombs. More likely, it's probably UPP. That's silly talk. An alien race dropping some sort of bioweapon on colonies.
Totally not what happened. Okay, yeah.
All right, so everyone take off, kind of do some downtime. You guys can do like wander around the ship, take stock of your weapons, clean them, get ready, get prepared. I'm going to say that a couple days will have passed, and I'm assuming that old Quill there keeps bothering for a mission, and eventually the staff sergeant says, all right, the lieutenant's found something for you. It's not exactly front lines, it's not involved on the front, but it is important.
Nice.
It's a mission for you to prove yourselves, all right? Maybe in the assembly room, in an hour, the lieutenant will address you and fill you in on the mission. Gather up the rest of the kilo and get them in here on time, all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Cut off that beard!
It's already been trimmed, sir. I'll do better.
Bones, lose the beard. I'm not kidding.
he,
I think you should actually get rid of it. I think that's a good idea.
he shaves the beard.
We have one. I'll go back to what is our group called? Kilo Company.
Your Kilo
Oh, we-
Company, but did you guys want? We were talking about giving you like a nickname, right?
Official, group
I mean,
name.
if
Like
we're
a-
so new, should we not have to earn it?
Yeah, maybe we'll get it after next mission.
Maybe
Yeah.
based on the foibles of our next mission, we will get our new name.
The
Yeah.
foibles.
The Everybody Dies crew. I have no
I'll
clue.
go back and relay the message that in an hour we have to go meet up.
Once again, Hero gets really close, standing at attention. He goes, Sergeant,
Yeah.
are we to assemble in full battle dress? Will we be departing from the briefing to
It seem-
the AO?
I'm pretty sure we can just wear what we're wearing now. It didn't seem like we were going to leave right that second. But I could be wrong, so let's just be fully decked out, and if we're wrong, we can just remove our stuff.
Yes, sir. I will go assemble my pack.
We're here.
Sounds great.
Will we
Good
be
luck.
deploying? Will we be deploying to a world in which we will need our ghillie suits and tactical gear, or what's the topography of where we're going, sir?
I believe we will find that out in the briefing, sir.
I'm not a sir, Sergeant. I'm
Yeah,
a
okay,
Lance
sorry.
Corporal.
Yep. Let me write that down again.
As our squad leader, we address you as sir.
Yeah, right,
Sergeant.
Correct. Yes.
And Seth goes, huh? Did someone say my name?
No.
Seth and sir.
Hero once again turns on his heels, sighs, and walks away.
Doesn't even. Just
Hey.
even register, Seth. Oh boy.
I pat Seth on the back because he is my friend, and I say, "No, sir. We're supposed to call him sir."
Oh, that's the new. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
where's the point? Yeah.
I push a tiny cup filled with orange liquid towards you and say, "You should drink this."
He's like, thank you. He drinks it. And he gets his shaving equipment. He starts to shave his beard. He shaves it all off. It's all gone.
Even the
And,
mustache.
Even the mustache, all of it. Yeah.
It's all gone.
Yeah.
Is there anything the group, the squad wants to assemble before going to this meeting for the rundown on your mission?
Could we perhaps roll on the D6 personal data events in the new Colonial Marines book that we are
Sure.
lovely using? Because I will laugh if Seth gets a 3. It will be amazing.
What page number is that on?
134 or no 132. Sorry.
132. So this is the time between the General Assembly and now? Yeah, go ahead. Everybody can roll a d6 and see what they do in their downtime.
Let's see. Oh, I got 2.
All right, we'll go through this. So, Seth, you got a 2. So that means there's a chance for the Marine to further their personal agenda. Oh, you tell me what happened. Quill, you got extra duties mean training is squeezed and the Marine has 0 social life during this downtime.
Oh.
Makes sense. Aradia...
I don't know why mine's not appearing as my name, but
I don't know
I'll figure that
either.
Later, I'll figure that later.
You
We'll
received
figure
some
that later.
bad news of some sort from him. You guys can all think about what this means for all of you. Clarence, you make an enemy, and Lance Corporal Hanzo, you got a 7. Just 1d6. I'm like, you got a 7.
Oh,
Something extra special happened.
I am
Yeah.
doing.
Hanzo, there's a chance for the Marine to further their personal agenda. So what happened? Let's jump back to you, Seth. You were first. You had some time to think about it. So
Yeah.
something happened that would help you further your personal agenda. So what took place over the last couple days?
Seth has been looking, since he is the squad medic, he spends a lot of time in the medical bay, that sort of thing, and constantly is going over medical reports and that sort of thing. And there's a special medical report he has that he's constantly like trying to find more about. I like to think it has to do with maybe the day when he like lost his eye and stuff like that, maybe. And so I mean, if I furthered that, I mean, I could probably like make the medical reports less classified, getting more info out of them, perhaps something like that could be
Okay.
occurring.
Okay.
And he's just trying to get to the bottom of what the real reason for the attack was. And it was actually
You're doing some
something.
digging. You're watching like
Yeah.
the news vids and things like
Yeah.
that, and you're combing it for info. Okay, I like that. I like that.
It's just an
This
old
hit-
man
this
in
hit
front
you
of a
hard.
small TV.
This hit you hard. This was your base of operations they took out Fort Nebraska.
Yeah, it was awful.
Quill, what extra duties were you doing that led to 0 social life?
Yeah, I imagine like it's like same for a lot of people in like the tech industry. If you like work on computers, like everybody thinks you're just like the computer bitch. So I imagine people like with any kind of like issue or something's not working correctly, they like throw it like in his chest and like tell him to fix it, and are very mean to him, and he doesn't know how to say no, and he just sits down in his quarters and starts fixing computers, laptops, whatever, trying to make his friends, but it's not really working.
Aradia, you received some bad news from home. What bad news have you received?
Well, I don't have a home, so it didn't come from home. So what I found out is that I heard about the different frigates that made it out of Fort Nebraska before it exploded. And the thing that I hear is that the Weyland-Yutani group that I know fairly well made it out okay. And I'm not happy about that.
Okay. I just want to say, Jen and Bill, who have played the previous adventure, I'm sure these names are familiar to you, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. I was hoping they'd ring familiar to you, Fort Nebraska and everything.
Did you not see? Yeah,
Okay.
I saw some of the names you're saying. I'm like,
Cool.
Like, I was like,
All right.
No, it's good. It's really good.
Clarence, you make an enemy. Who are you to make an enemy of?
It's the same old for Clarence. Somebody made fun of him carrying around a katana, and he politely informed them that if it happens again, he'll break their legs.
You know what?
Yes.
I'm gonna say it's one of the artificial womb soldiers from the Blackguard.
That's fine.
One of your brothers, quote unquote brothers. And Lance Corporal Hanzo, you also had a chance to further your personal agenda. What happened in your downtime?
So Hanzo was an orphan, and he grew up in the system and then in military schools. So he has a really hard time socializing with people and really even understanding the way people feel and think. So he spends a lot of his downtime just quietly observing normal people. So he's been spending a lot of time watching Dr. Seth Oldman Bones and Sergeant Riverby, trying to observe how they interact with people in normal ways so he can try to improve his ability to seem more balanced.
Very good. All right. I like it. So, we'll say an hour's passed. You go to where you're summoned. You are greeted by the sight of Lieutenant Casados, and she is speaking to Roy off in one corner. And you can see Staff Sergeant Zimborski. He's standing there. He's got his arms crossed, and he looks unimpressed. His head shaking. He's complained to you, even though he shouldn't. He's your commanding officer. He's complained quite vocally from time to time how he does not... He's not appreciative. He does not like the fact that Lieutenant Casados relies so much on Roy. She goes to him for a lot of advice, information, and general strategy. So he's kind of standing there, his arms are crossed. You enter the room, the five of you, and he turns around and he goes, "Get over it, soldiers, you're late!
Yes, sir.
In line!"
Get into line.
All right, with that,
Tyler walks over.
Lieutenant Casados, she turns around, and she starts walking up and down the line, looking at the five of you.
I wipe the sweat on my legs.
She says, "The main settlement on Arcturus has been seized by xenophobic bioterrorists called the Children of the Two Divines. These extremists are led by this crackpot." She shows you a picture. Jans Rudy. And I'll show you all a picture. I have a picture of Jans Rudy for all of you. Bear with me as I find it in the journal. There you go. Old man.
Ooh.
Shaggy hair, kind of overweight, big bushy white eyebrow. Wait a minute, it's Seth! No.
No, it's not. Though it would probably have worked great. Just draw an eye patch on him, and there you go.
This crackpot, Jans Rudy. Intel says they intend to wipe out Arcturian culture by destroying their art and relics. Their ship made a low approach over the planet-side trading outpost and dropped the drum of QTC on the US CMC station, killing 27 of our own. At last report, they've massacred over 240 Arcturians and humans at the planet's cultural center, the Grand Kavas. They flooded the area with CN-20 nerve gas and taken 36 locals hostage as shields. On top of that, we think they have a nuke. Get in there, find the hostages, take Jans and his top lieutenants alive for interrogation, and secure any surviving relics for protection. We need to keep civilian casualties at an absolute minimum. She looks at you, Clarence. The politics surrounding Arcturus are sensitive, to say the least. We just can't have the shit hitting the fan here, alright, Marines?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, yes, sir.
One of the hostages
Sir.
is Geolgod Institute brain Tajal Aluwala. Apparently, she's connected to UAAC Special Project Division. We want all the hostages to come home, but protecting her and whatever sensitive data she carries is paramount. Don't fuck this up, Marines. This order comes from UAAC Command Direct. As soon as you have the hostages free, call it in. We'll have 2 squads and 4 dropships standing by to do evac of the civvies. Staff Sergeant will fill you in on the rest of the details. And she turns and exits the briefing. And Roy leaves with her. Staff Sergeant turns to you and goes, all right, you maggots, did you get a load of that? You can't get gun happy out there, okay? We can't risk any civilians being shot. Well, you know the situation on our Arcturus is sensitive. Right? Right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
Okay, so that means we're going to lean on your specialty. We're a reconnaissance squad, so we're going to do some reconnaissance before we go in there guns a-blazing.
I shift uncomfortably and try to hide the RPG that I have strapped to my back.
He brings up a map of the area. Might as well show this on the stream here. Let's bring this over.
Yeah, show off the new overlay.
Show off the other overlay.
Yeah.
You're going to be dropped in what's known as the Guardian Belt. This is one of the few areas on the planet that actually has a time cycle. The hostages and the terrorists, we believe, like we said, like the lieutenant said, are mainly in the Grand Kavass. That is where they're holding them. We need you to go in there and breach that area. You're going to be dropped further away. You're going to be dropped way out here with an APC so that you're off radar. You need to get in there as quiet as possible and not alert them to your presence and rescue those people. Going through the main gates and crashing them is not advised, Marines. All right, we have a couple of options here. Reconnaissance has told us that the Children of the Two Divines have taken a couple of Stinger vehicles and are patrolling the Guardian Belt from the Marine base and the Marines they killed. So be careful. We know that they're driving around and watching. Surrounding the compound is a sonic fence to keep the Arctura away and at bay. So you're going to have to find a way around that fence as quietly as possible. If you go up to the northwest, there's a colonial rig. There is a Weyland-Yutani farm where they farm fungus and other native life, and a trading outpost. Normally, that is a hub of activity, but when they took out our Marines there and everything else on the outpost, it is lifeless. We believe there's nobody left there alive. That might be your best chance to get through, but we do know that there are patrols in the area. But that would bring you through the back in the residential gate of the Grand Kavass, and hopefully surprise them in your approach. We're going to supply APCs. We know that there is nerve toxins and gas that have been dropped in the Grand Kavass, so you'll also have rebreathers, and we're giving you 2 breaching charges to take with you. But those are to be used only if necessary. We need to go in there as quietly as possible. Understood?
Understood.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Question, sir.
Yes.
Would it make more sense, sir, if you dropped us closer to the colonial rig, sir?
No.
Okay, sir.
Why would that be better?
So we could just get there faster, sir, instead of...
You're closer to the Grand Kavass and greater chance of you being seen. Did you not hear that we believe they have a nuke? If they know Marines are being dropped in, they could set that thing off and wipe out everyone and everything.
Yes, sir.
What was that?
Yes, sir!
Sir.
I
Sir,
felt the sweat.
question, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Will we be able to requisition environmental ponchos and a Saberni detection kit, sir?
He looks kind of annoyed that you're even like bothering with questions. Yes, we can requisition that. We can get that for you. Is there anything else you'd need other than your standard gear? And he looks over to your squad commander, Quill.
No, sir. But I have another question, sir. That's really
Yes.
more to you, Matt. For the sonic fences, is that something that I would be able to try and like hack or disable temporarily? Like, would I know if that's a possibility? 'Cause it's
You may be able to disable like a section of it. So Arctura are like almost like ape-like creatures that live here on the planet. They're blind albino apes that have kind of evolved separately from the Arcturians. They're not related to them, but this fence keeps them out. They're very primitive. They live in caves. They're bipedal like people, like apes, but they use like rocks and stones and crude weapons and things like that. So that fence is there to keep them out. So it will like deter or damage you if you get too close to it. You do know that through its purpose. So it will be difficult to get like right up against it and work on the outside on one of those panels, as most of the panels would be on the other side of the sonic fence.
Sir, most of my weapons are of a loud and dangerous nature. May I have a weapon more suited for stealth?
We expect heavy resistance when you get in the Grand Kavass, and that's when your skills are going to come into use. In the meantime, I suggest you stick to the APC. There's big guns on there also.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, what
Yes.
should we do
Oh,
in regards
sorry.
to the nukes? Do we know if the nukes are there?
I
in
will
the Guardian
disable
Belt?
them. Don't worry.
But should we collect them? Is that a side mission for us at all?
What was it? Sorry, there's a question about Arctura and Arcturians in the chat. Those are two different things. There's a line in Aliens where they talk about having sex with Arcturians. They're two different things. Arctura are the apes. Arcturians are human-like. They're very human-like in appearance. I'll go over this because we're going to the planet. It's also in the book. It's kind of defined for the first time in this book. They're human-like. They look like us. They're slightly taller, about a foot or two taller. They're very thin. They have no eyebrows. They have very pale skin, and their limbs are longer than ours. They are also gender fluid, so they can change when needing to mate. And that's where the joke in Aliens comes from, that he didn't realize he had sex with a male Arcturian. So it was not an ape that he had sex with in the movie. So the Arcturians, they're very close to humans in appearance and everything else. They were the first race that the UA made contact with and traded technology with. The civilization is very similar to that of the Mayans, if you're to relate it to something on Earth, with their beliefs and the way they operate. If you notice on this map, there are drawings on the ground very similar to those found in, I believe it's Peru, of monkeys and birds and things like that. So they could be a cousin to humans, for all we know. All right, what were you asking for, Seth?
Seth was asking. We already handled it. It was if we should try to take the nukes for ourselves.
No, what?
Try to bring them back.
No, get the hostages out of there. Don't let the nukes go off.
What if we can get the nukes?
We'll worry about that when we get the dropships in there. The top priority is you get those hostages out. You find Jans Rudy, his top lieutenants, and you get that scientist out.
Okay.
Did the lieutenant stutter?
No, sir.
Do you need to trim the hair in your ears?
I do, yes.
Is that funny?
Seven's like, no, sir, no.
Dismissed.
It is not funny.
Dismissed.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, he's got mutton chops now. All right, so he leaves, and he's annoyed. He's always in a bad mood. He's always annoyed with all of you. He's always giving you a hard time. He's a hard ass. Nobody likes him. All right, so you want to get ready? You're going to be drop shipped in.
We're already ready.
You're already ready. All right, so you guys, you have
armored
access
up.
to your general weapons. You have your weapons on your character sheets. You don't need to get any of that ready. You've asked for additional gear to suit for this, and they've also given you rebreathers, 2 breach charges, and a damn APC, because you got quite a distance to cover.
Oh, who is that remote controlled, or is someone actually going to?
Someone needs to drive it, so I don't know who's got a driving skill here.
The heck is driving?
I assume it's heavy machine.
Piloting. Pilot.
Oh, piloting. Not me. Old man can't drive.
Read notebooks and piloting. I was I was kind of hoping to get a gun, or no, sorry, not a gun. I was kind of hoping to get a knife from that request, so that I can have something that doesn't make noise when I stab things. I just wanted a knife. It's not gonna happen because I'm $10 short.
Seth just asked how much they have to pay so I can kill Seth first.
Wow.
Get him out of
Oh my
here.
God.
Wow. Straight murdering.
All right. So you have a dropship pilot assigned to you because you don't have your own pilot in this squad.
Okay.
They're going to bring you down on planet, just like in Alien, where they bring down the dropship. It kind of goes 0G, like there's no engines. It just drops in atmosphere, so it's not picked up. Boom, gets down. 8 lowers the ramp. APC drives out, and you're out there in the Badlands in the Guardian Belt.
Before we leave the ship, though, Hanzo, in his attempt to be more human, would turn to you and say, "Here's the money for your knife. We should be able to kill quietly if needed. You're correct."
I take
That's
a
all he
knife.
says, and then he turns around and walks away.
I throw $50 at whoever's selling a knife, and I grab a knife and put it in my pocket.
Whoever's selling a knife?
Yeah, there has to be somebody willing to sell their knife, right?
Sure.
Maybe. I ask Roy, like, hey, Roy, you know the back channels, like, can you find me a knife?
I guarantee you, there's a supply sergeant there somewhere who's going to have a knife for you.
And I get that knife. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, you can get a knife, no problem.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
You don't need to go to old Roy. Like the dog food, old Roy. All right, you're ready. So checks are done. Checks are in place. Dropship's ready to go down. Are you all ready?
Yeah.
Hooah.
How many missions? How many
Yes,
official
we're
drops?
very
of this
ready.
No. All right. So you guys get in the APC. That's what you're going to be strapped into while the dropship's going down.
How many drops is this for you?
Too many to count.
15 simulated.
Yeah. Yeah, how many drops is it for all you? I'll tell you what, as we're going down, as we're making this drop, I want everybody to make me a stamina roll. As this thing's stuttering, drop into the ground, your stomach's up in your throat, you're trying to hold it together. Oh, look at all of you. Oh, Hanzo.
Ooh.
And
So I've
Quill.
got 2 successes. Holy, I'm happy.
Does anybody want to re-roll? Does anybody want to push their rolls here to see if they can hold it together as they're going down in the dropship? We got Hanzo and
I'll push
Riverby.
it.
Pushing.
Pretty sad if the
Oh, no!
Oh,
That's
roll
awesome.
stress. Oh, what?
Nothing's going to happen with one stress.
No.
Okay.
Riverby, are you doing it?
No, this is on brand.
This is on brand. So the ship's going down. It's shaking. Who got the most successes here?
I think
Seth.
Steph and
Oh.
I got 2 as well. I got 2
Oh,
successes
all 2.
as well.
You're right.
So
I
I'm gonna
got
say Bones,
Ooh,
yeah,
and Clarence.
Bones,
Both are high
Aradia,
fives.
and Clarence. You're all looking at each other. You're kind of smiling. You're like high fiving each other as it's going down. And Hanzo and Quill
Just-
are looking at each other, just kind of like.
Just
Uh,
keep swimming. Just keep.
The two of you give yourself a stress as you're going down, and this thing's shaking like mad. You can't see anything. You're in complete darkness.
Oh.
You have no idea what's going on. Yeah, take a stress.
I find it hilarious. There couldn't be anything more funny than weakness amongst other people. Maybe not a good idea to laugh at Hero, but here we are.
But before too long, the dropship sets down. The ramp drops, and who's driving this thing? Who's got the best piloting?
Hero, I nominate you as our pilot for the time being.
Sergeant, yes, sir.
I have reviewed the books and attributes of all of our squad, and you are the most best for the job.
Sir, I prefer to walk and shoot things, but I will drive because that's direct order.
All right, so the ramp opens, and you barrel out onto the terrain. So you get out here, and this is the one, like I said, the one area of the planet that kind of experiences like night and day. The rest of the planet doesn't, but it's almost in a perpetual state of twilight, as the sun's always low on the horizon. So it's kind of dark out here, but you do get a little bit of light. And you can see vegetation that's scattered around the area, natural vegetation. And it's shrubs, mosses, things like that. And they kind of glow with this like ultraviolet light as the little bit of the sun hits it. You find yourselves on glistening, luminescent silicates that also reflect the light off of it. And it gives like this shimmering effect on the terrain and the flatlands around you. The ground's dark, and it looks like it's just all rock and sand everywhere. But you can see for kilometers all around you. You see these phosphorus geoglyphs etched into the terrain, and that's what you saw from space as well on your charts. Giant pictographs depicting Arcturians like bowing down before giants with enormous heads and chiseled features. Some kind of bipedal, long-headed crucified demon, and much more. So you're on the ground. What is the first thing you want to do? I'm going to say that you're parked. You're going to be by the head of that monkey, right underneath the teacher sign where it says teacher signs. You've got the sonic fence in front of you. You know to the northwest that there is a way around if you want to, but it's a little bit of a long way. The terrain does get a little rough over there when you're looking at your maps. It looks like it gets muddier and it might be harder to drive through. You do have your tactic of possibly getting near the sonic fence. What do you want to do? What's your approach? You also know there's a couple of Stinger vehicles, Marine-issued Stinger transports ripping around here, which you know are armed. You know that Stinger fast transports carry 50 cal cannons and light missiles.
I mean, with that great piloting role, I feel like we have to use it.
Yeah, I'll let that stand. But
Start
when we
making our
want to
way
use
to
it
the-
to head out.
So,
But I'll
do you
let you get
do
the
want
lay
us-
of the land, of the terrain, and decide where you want to go.
Can Seth pull out his binoculars and take a survey of the surrounding areas to make sure we don't get caught
Is that-
unawares?
Not to,
Okay.
rain on your parade, but does that work with only one eye?
He says, "Does it
They're not.
work?"
They're not. They're not Uno oculars. I just.
Oh.
He instead you see when he pulls out, when he says binocular, he pulls out like his old sniper rifle like scope. Yeah, and he's like, I meant this, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I can also pull out my full spectrum spotter scope as well.
Ooh.
I was gonna say Hanzo's probably got one also.
But Hans is driving.
I'm gonna say you're stationary for now. You figure out
Alright.
your plan of attack.
Okay, well yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
So everybody wants to look through the binoculars or whatever. You can make observation rolls. If your gear gives you a bonus to your observation roll, if you right click on the skill in Foundry, it'll pop up a window. You can put in your bonus for your gear in there and then roll it.
Did you say what time of day it is?
It's
Twilight.
perpetually twilight. I'm gonna say it's midday, but yeah, it's always perpetually twilight.
Question.
Yes.
I have a high beam shoulder lamp that removes the effect of darkness. One, will that alert people to our presence? I'm guessing because it's a high beam shoulder lamp. Okay, cool. Then I'm just not. gonna use it.
But you're inside an APC right now.
Oh,
also.
okay. Okay, then I can't remove darkness in an area. Okay. I can remove darkness inside the APC. That's about it. I do not.
Yeah, you just turn around, you shine your shoulder-mounted light
You're
in
like,
everybody's face,
"God,
like, oh,
stop
get
it."
out of here!
Like a cell phone light. All right, I'm good. All right.
So Quill, you got one success, but Old Man Bones, you got 2 successes.
Sure
So you're
did.
trying to, with your one eye, you're scanning the area.
With
You
the
can
scope.
see off in the distance. I'll tell you what, you see off in the distance, not too far from you. You see a Stinger vehicle.
Oh shit.
You see a Stinger transport, one of those stolen ones, and you see 2 children of the 2 divines in there. They're dressed in black.
Uh-huh.
They're wearing like military fatigues, but they're not a military outfit. Looks like
Right.
they picked this up. They're wearing this kind of like their field uniform. You see them there, and it looks like they're stopped. They're stopped in their Stinger, and they're kind of like surveying the area.
Okay.
A Stinger is like a Jeep. It's like a Jeep
Yeah.
where you got a driver in front, you've got a guy who sits on the mounted gun
Like
in the
Halo.
back. It's actually, I don't know if anybody knows, or people saw the interview, but the old Kenner Aliens toy line, it's from that, and they actually made it canon. It's in the game. It's in
fuck.
lore and universe now, so it looks like the old toy from the Kenner Aliens toys in the early 90s.
Oh my gosh. And I can use my second success to get one of these other things. Can I ask number 2? Are there more of them close by?
Not from what you can tell, but you do see that there are some Arctura poking out of a cave nearby, and they're watching the two children of the two divines from their cave.
Okay.
And those are the ape-like creatures, the albino blind apes.
Yeah, Seth would turn to their friend Aradia and say, we are not the only ones watching the enemies down there. Should we do something to maybe make them attack each other, or should we leave them be? What should we do?
I think maybe making them attack each other would be the best thing, because they've probably experienced that a bit here.
Yeah.
So if we were to do that, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary. Maybe we can profit on whoever wins or loses that fight.
You could. I wonder if your RPG would help.
Do we hear this conversation?
I was gonna say, so like the rest of you can hear. So he's picked this up. I'm gonna say, Quill, with your one success, you did see this other Stinger that's parked. It's quite a ways up from you. Like it's north of you. It's towards the position of the Grand Kavass and the Sonic Fence. It's about a kilometer or two up. You can see this thing through your scope, and from it, you can tell they haven't seen you. But Seth, you're the only one who have seen the Arctura in a nearby cave that are also eyeing them up.
Yeah.
Do we know what might incite an Arctura to fight?
They're blind, you said, right? So
They're
noise?
they're blind. You don't know a lot about them. Like in the packet that was given to you before coming down the mission, they fight with stones and spears and things like that. They don't like technology. So basically, like when the locals or off-worlders get near them, they typically like throw rocks and such at them. They're pretty harmless.
Okay.
I'm gonna feel really bad if we get them killed. I won't lie.
If we heard that they're harmless, then I don't. I mean, they probably would get killed.
Yeah.
But Seth would also say, especially to Hero, if we distract them this way, it will give us a great opportunity to drive past them, perhaps, or to do the Sonic Fence routine if that does not work.
Seth, have the Arcturians seen us?
No, they have not.
Arctura,
Hero,
not Arcturians.
Arctura. Hero, if you were to kill one of them, do you think we might be able to get them to attack the insurgents, and I could potentially sneak up and we could finish them all quickly before they're able to raid?
Clarence, you're in a big, giant, open desert. Sneaking's not much of an option here. When you get to the Grand Kavass and into the city, you're gonna have more sneaking opportunities. But out here, it's just big, wide open desert.
What range?
I think
are we
I'm the
at
greatest
from-
person in the world, man.
You're
That's
about-
not going to stop me from
You're
running.
about 2 kilometers away from them.
Okay,
Think-
so we're at extreme range.
Yeah,
then.
you could drive up. They're not aware of you yet. You did make a piloting roll already, so if you want to drive up closer, I will take your piloting roll and not make you re-roll.
Look, I don't want to be the odd man out here, but I feel like we're completely disregarding the approved plan that was given to us, and we're getting closer to the quote main gate versus the sneaky way that they really urged us to be as the reconnaissance squad that we are.
You're right, Sergeant. We should box out to the northwest and approach from the Colonial rig. But the Stinger may pick up our heat signature as soon as we start moving. We may have to deal with this patrol before we move out.
Sergeant, I have a suggestion. What if we were to have one person piloting our vehicle and the rest of us going around behind, and we get the vehicle within range of the Stinger so it sees us, and we come up from behind and stealth in that way?
That could work. However, I just got reporting in. We're in a giant desert with little cover. Little cover.
The shrubs and the odd bush.
Sir, yes. Sir, yes. Apparently, odd bush is the only thing that we have to help us.
Something tells me, I'm getting reported it. Something tells me we probably shouldn't do this.
So, this is like the Macy's Day Parade for Evan.
So your APC, I have an APC in the character sheet section that you should all be able to see. It has guns on it as well. If you go to it, you can open up the inventory. It's got a 20mm Gatling gun for long range, and it's got a phased plasma pulse cannon turret with extreme range. But you also do have a very trained sniper who can take things out at long distance. You have options. You could try to drive around and avoid them, make a piloting roll, and try to go around them without being seen.
I believe high ground is our best option for our reconnaissance team.
Let us do that.
You're right, Sergeant.
I know everyone is really, really amped to kill people. It's not really my forte. I just want us to stay on track and get the job done and have, as few casualties as we can.
Sergeant, they're irrelevant. If they don't see us, it doesn't matter. If they do, we'll remove them from the equation.
It's just not silent. I don't, unless does your rifle have a silencer?
I'm very quiet when I shoot from a very long range, but you're right. Let's drive around. If they do seem to notice us, we'll deal with them then.
Correct.
This is why we keep you around, Quinn. You point us in the right direction every time.
It's not my name,
Chief.
but I'm not going to be a jerk about it because I'm not
Chief,
like the other guys.
He was assigned to our
Quill,
squad, Chief.
right.
We didn't keep him around. We're not authorized to remove him from the equation.
Yeah, I think they put me here because I'm the brains. I actually have really limited combat experience. This is like my second mission, but I at least can think about a good idea.
Yes, Sergeant. Shall I move out?
So what's the plan here?
Onwards and upwards.
We're driving.
So
I'm gonna go that way.
that way. So
We're
that way,
skirting around them.
you do know that it is the terrain is rougher there. So
We could potentially get out at some point and walk if we can find a good
you
place to
could
put the
walk.
APC.
Look at the distance down there at the bottom in meters.
Is the APC not four-wheeler?
No.
Oh my god, they gave us the bad one.
This is your proving mission, all of you, right? Right? You deal
Yeah,
some xenophobic terrorists. All right, so we're gonna head up. Hero, you rolled already. What was your roll? How many successes did you get on that piloting? Two.
Yeah.
All right, so you skirt far to the west, wide berth around this Stinger to ensure that hopefully they don't see you. Bear with me here. Let's see if they see you. No, you go by unnoticed. So you're watching the scanners, you're looking at the little murder holes, and it looks like even though there's the odd dust that's being kicked up as you're driving through the desert and everything, they seem to not notice you. And you head toward between the lake and the butte. That's the direction you're taking. When you get to the butte towards the Mesa Canyon, that's when you get to the rough terrain. And it's muddy. It's wet and thick and muddy here. This area is used for farming. They farm all sorts of fungus here on the planet. I'm gonna need to get you to make me another roll here. Another piloting roll, please. As you get into the thick mud and your APC's rearing as you enter it.
Woo!
Look at you. You just kind of put your foot down and the wheels spin. You kick up the mud. The back kind of like swings out behind you, but you get some footing and you go. As you're driving, I'm gonna get who's kind of like on watch here.
I would definitely be. That's like the only thing I can do.
Make me an observation roll, please, Quill.
I'll observe.
That's why I was put in charge. You can see as you're driving through the mud here, you see 3 figures in the distance walking out here.
Do I get any?
As you
more
get
detail?
closer, they're not dressed like you saw those children of the 2 divines. They look like they're dressed in normal clothes. As you kind of get on your scanners and you're looking with your binoculars, they look like they're Arcturians. The longer limbed, kind of. Their hair is braided and it kind of goes up. It flares up in braids, which is typical for some of the castes within the Arcturian culture. And they're walking. They look like they're tired. They look like they've been out for a while, and they're just walking through this mud.
I have spotted Arcturians on the horizon.
Should we stop and let them pass
They
to
seem
make
tired
sure they don't see us?
and unarmed.
They are unarmed.
We should not attack them.
I agree.
We
They
should
may be
keep
able
it.
to provide
Sir.
us intelligence if you want to.
Perhaps a conversation is in order.
Do we know if they speak our
Yes.
language?
Yeah, 'cause they-
Common? What is this? Star
Common.
Wars? Yes, they speak English. They do speak English. And their own language
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
It's a good question, though. That's valid. Valid.
We could like slide the APC, like not facing them, and then kind of a couple of us just walk out. Maybe.
Yeah.
And then, be non-threatening, not have it like facing them and like guns pointed at them.
We could have it so the vehicle like keeps moving along slowly while 2 get out and go talk and stuff. Seth would be willing to go and talk to them in case if they need some assistance, seeing how they are tired they are, in case any of them are wounded.
Sure.
All right, me and Seth will walk out and see how it goes.
All right, so the 2 of you drive up. How close do you want to drive to these Arcturians? There's 3 of them.
I mean, I guess enough to be in range, right? But just like have it just kind of casually moving, like so they
Sure.
can see us.
So
kind of
as
get
you're getting
out and
closer,
towards them.
like you're not gonna barreling at them. You can see like they're panicked. Like they see this thing coming at them, and they look at each other, and you can see they kind of like they scatter, but they look like they're tired. They're weary, and they're not really putting up too much of a fight. But the 3 of them kind of scatter and go in different directions, but they're not getting away. So you're able to catch up to the group of them quite easily.
Food.
When the ramp opens up and Colonial Marines step out, they seem relieved, and the 3 of them kind of look at each other, and they come running over to you, and
Easy.
food. The head one he approaches you and he says, "We are fungi farmers, and we were taken as hostages in the Grand Kavass, but we have escaped."
Oh.
Oh,
How,
how did you find a way out?
When they weren't paying attention, they have many of us there.
Mm-hmm.
And we managed to slip out. There's nerve gas everywhere, and they're blowing things up. The fanatics, they're destroying our art and our culture.
how many is many
Oh,
people?
50 or more? And they look at each other and they all nod.
Are any of you injured currently?
No, we're not. We're just very tired. We escaped through the residential gates at the back of the Grand Kavass. What are you doing here? Where are you going? Are you here to save us?
Actually.
We are on a top secret mission.
They killed the other Marines stationed here.
Was there a scientist? Did you see a woman that was here?
There was a woman that was with them. She seemed to be helping them.
Oh. Okay.
She was
Well-
scanning things and informing them. They seemed to be looking for something specifically.
Did you see a big nuclear missile or something?
There are canisters of nerve gas everywhere, but I did not see a nuclear missile.
I kind of look at the squad, kind of whisper, "I'm not sure what to do with them."
Listen, we're here to liberate your people. Anything you could do to help us get inside would be very good.
Could you get us out of here? Can we travel with you?
Well, we're going in.
The opposite direction, I believe. We're going
But-
back into the Grand Kvass.
You could. Would the APC fit them for like a short period of time?
Oh yeah, the APC's huge. Like if you remember in the movie Aliens, there's like how many of them in there?
We could bring them to the Colonial rig. They said that was the trading pile post. There's nobody there. They could just wait for us.
Do you think the nerve gas is dissipated that they dropped there?
Gosh.
Nerve gas doesn't last an extended period of time.
They all look at each other and okay.
When did they drop the gas?
Hours ago. 5, 6, maybe more?
Sergeant, they may very well die from pockets of nerve gas there. It's not particularly our concern, but you may not want to send them there.
We could park the APC outside and they stay in there.
Sir, that's against regulations, but that would be your call, your command call.
Yeah, let me pulls out his officer handbook. Oh yeah, that seems a little dangerous. Okay.
Access to the Gatling gun would be ill-advised.
Right, of course. I knew that. I was testing you. Okay. We seem to be in a sticky wicket.
Seth,
Did you
Seth
say
would
sticky wicket, sir?
Seth
Yes,
would
I did.
ask them if is there a place nearby that you could wait for us to return and take and let you know things are safe.
Well, there's Arctura on the other side of the fence. They may attack us. Maybe you could drive us to the old bio-national farms? I know those are abandoned. They're on the other side of the map. I'll just pick them.
Sir,
Holy
that,
moly!
that's,
God damn it.
that's quite far out of our way. I strongly recommend we cut
I'll
loose
tell you
from
what,
these
we'll
people
talk-
and execute
We'll
our
talk
mission.
about that after you help us get through the fences.
Oh, are you going to go liberate the Kvass? Is that why you're here? Well, we recommend you go through the residential gate. The forces are much later there.
Awesome. Yes,
That's
that is
where
what
we
we're
escaped
going to
from.
do. So we can't exactly take you because you don't want to go back to where you left.
You're going to leave us here?
You're welcome to
Affirmative.
get in the... Do we want to let them get in the APC? It doesn't matter
I mean,
to me
you
at
can
all.
be with
I don't
the-
care
us
if they live or die, to be
temporarily.
honest.
Everybody make me an observation roll, please. While you're talking with these fungi farmers. These Arcturian fungi farmers.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Everybody succeeded. You see dust kicking up from the direction of the Grand Kvass, moving towards you. You squint, you take a look. It looks like one of the other stingers is barreling in your direction. They see you. They know you're there, and they are coming straight at you.
Wow.
I'd like to get on the heavy weapons in the vehicle
Yeah.
and be prepared for my sergeant to give me order to fire.
Sniper, this is your time to shine.
Sergeant, I recommend we attempt to kill them as quietly as possible.
That, yes, I
Permission
recommend
to,
you. No, I
permission to
recommend
fire
you.
at will.
Yes. So, didn't say it. Didn't say it.
Seth gets his gear ready.
I will get the Arcturians, at least for in the time being, inside the APC, just as a
All right.
precautionary.
I just realized I don't have our initiative set up in here, so I'm actually grabbing my physical alien cards. We'll do initiative that way.
Ooh, fun. I like that.
As I notice that my sergeant is likely not going to allow me to fire the guns on the APC, I pull out my knife and stand there looking useless.
So who's doing what? Who's going to what position station? Who is somebody drawing a weapon and standing out there?
Yeah,
What's
I'm gonna pull the sniper rifle, my sniper rifle.
Okay.
Drop the bipods, get in a prone position, aim at the driver of the Stinger, and
Perfect.
as soon as he gets into long range, I'll fire.
perfect? It is an open front Jeep, and the gunner's head is poking out on top. He's like standing straight up on a gun, so you can see his head. You can see the driver. Okay.
Am I able to assist with my sniper scope?
I'd let you give him a bonus to his roll if you wanted to sit there and help
He is
spot.
the forward observer.
Yeah, if you wanted to
Absolutely.
spot.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're like going to do like in Ghost, Where like you go behind him, you're like, no, this way.
A little to the left.
All right.
Seth
We don't-
is gonna be ready to jump in front of any bullet that takes out any of his other could hurt anyone
Oh
else.
dear God, old man.
We don't have a battle map or anything for this. So we're just gonna do this I'm gonna go in order of the overlay. Jen, your initiative is a 2.
Hmm.
No.
That's lower is better.
I know, but I don't have anything to do.
Tyler, your
You can trade
initiative is
at the
boom,
beginning of the right.
a 7.
I like.
Bill, 8.
Oh,
Evan, 9.
Excellent.
Aaron, 3.
That's good. That's good.
There we go.
And our bad guys, a 6.
Okay.
okay.
Can I trade initiative order with somebody?
You can trade.
Yes.
Sure.
You can trade with hero.
If you trade with
or-
Bill, then
he
he
can
can
help
give me
you?
that bonus,
Right,
and
yeah.
then I
I'll trade
can
with
fire.
I'll trade with Bill. I'll trade
Yep.
with Clarence.
All right, Tyler, 7. So what is Bill getting? A 2?
to
Yeah.
And you're getting his 8.
So
All
sideways.
right. Evan has a 9. Is that right? All right. Hanzo had the 3. All right. So up first is Clarence. This thing's barreling at you. Hanzo's getting the tripod setting down in the terrain, ready to shoot at these.
No,
You're
I'm
assuming
just
bioterrorists
assisting,
barreling at you.
I'm just assisting Hanzo, so I believe the goal is to give him an extra dice.
Go ahead and make me an observation roll. Give yourself a bonus for your gear that you're using.
What is the bonus?
I don't know. Do you have it on your character sheet?
No, I don't. I
item?
thought it was in the item. But it is not.
I'll give you a +2. We'll figure out after.
And I need to right click on observation.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I'll ask you for a modifier.
Mhm.
Just put a 2 in there.
And base modifier 2.
Phew.
Okay, I'm going to give you 1. You can push. Do you want to push it?
Heck yeah.
Push it.
Damn it, Matt.
Yeah, 2
Hey.
successes. So I'm going to give you 2 extra dice to your roll, Hanzo, when it goes to you. You're going to get 2 additional D6s when you get to roll.
Permission
So,
to fire quietly.
Speaking of which,
Hanzo.
Hanzo, go ahead and roll, please. Oh, we're getting raided by Party Wipe. Thank you. Hello, Raiders and Party Wipe games.
So Hanzo takes his slow action to aim, slowly breathes out, and then squeezes the trigger at the pause between breaths. So the +2 from Clarence will offset the range penalty at long range. So
Boom. There's that shot.
Uh-oh.
let's roll some stress.
Roll some stress, but you got a success. Keep it
Let's keep it
together.
together.
A little bead of
So-
sweat goes down your forehead. But I'm assuming you got something to kind of like stop that so it doesn't
Oh,
distract you too much. Doesn't go in your eyes.
Clarence just patting the sweat away.
So 5 points of damage to the driver.
Beautiful. So Hanzo's down, takes aim. You hear a shot ring out of his enormous sniper rifle. All of a sudden, you're watching through your scope, Clarence, and you're watching Clarence. You're watching through your binoculars, whatever it is. Hanzo, you're watching through your scope. Bam! Dead on target. The driver's head snaps back, and he just goes limp. And you see the Stinger transport just kind of like swerving now side to side.
I'm going to say to Hanzo, keep that shell. It'll be good on your necklace.
Good point, Clarence. Thank you.
Instant kill. All right, it's their shot now. So the gunner is still alive, even though it's out of control. He's gonna try and fire back at the group of you. He's gonna target your APC because it is not a moving target. Let's try to cripple your APC like I did in Destroyer of Worlds.
God.
So at extreme range. No, I have long range. I'm gonna fire a Hellcat light missile at you.
Jeez.
Better get a penalty for no driver.
What? No. What?
Well, it's just
this is
going
all
perfectly
happening
straight?
simultaneously.
Oh,
All right.
Have you
I
seen a
won't.
movie? Second driver goes.
All right. He rolled no successes. Relax. Look at 5 damage. So he's on the back, and all of a sudden you see this flash, and this missile, and a trail of smoke launches out, and it just whizzes overhead your APC and just slams into a stone outcropping nearby. As Quill's like, wait a minute. All right, Seth, it's over to you.
I've seen movies.
Seth wipes his brow as the missile flies by. It's like, I'm not ready to jump in front of that. And he would train his gun on I assume the enemy vehicle and wait to see if anyone pops out of it after that crash.
There's still the gunner. He's standing erect in the back, hands on gun. You
He
can
stayed
see.
on.
Yeah, he's holding on because
Oh.
you stand in the back of this thing upright. So he's hanging on the gun. He just launched a missile at you, and this Jeep is like swerving back and forth in
Is
this.
there a chance he doesn't know that the driver is dead?
He's gonna know. Well, it's out of control, so I'm assuming he probably knows.
He's gonna figure it out quick.
Okay.
Oh, well, Seth will start shooting. He'll put his old sniper training to use as he
So he
switches
starts
to
shooting.
start shooting. Yeah. Is there negatives being at long range that I should?
What weapon are you
Minus
using?
2.
Yeah.
I'm using the pulse rifle.
Yeah, -2.
Okay. So I put -2 into the base mod.
Well, it says
Yeah.
it has a long range, doesn't the pulse rifle?
I'm
That means you
asking
can
y'all.
fire at long range, but it's still the -2.
Oh, you
at
still
that
get the
range.
penalty. Okay.
Okay.
Hey.
Nice.
Oh, where's the sound
Success.
effect? Why don't I have the sound effect go off? That's disappointing.
I don't know.
Did you
it's
hear it
'cause
on
I
your
have
end?
It's probably because I have a different weapon, maybe.
I don't know.
The scope rifle versus the pulse rifle. I'm gonna push that though, and hope to get more successes. Hey, another success.
All right.
Wonderful.
So you push it.
that's
So you fire the
3
pulse
points of
rifle.
damage.
It goes off. Yeah, and you find
Yeah.
your mark. Wow. So how much damage total? 3?
3. Yeah. And Seth kisses his commendation medal and says, "Still got it."
With that shot, the gunner slumps over as this thing kind of just coasts to a stop.
Oh, thank God.
And the fungi farmer's like, "Oh, please, you can't leave us out here. They're in patrols, and they'll kill us if they find us. They must have been looking for us."
Sergeant,
how to drive?
why don't they take the Stinger to the
Yeah.
bionational farm?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
know how
You
to-
can take the Jeep
Yeah.
thingy. You can drive, right?
Yes, of course. We're farmers. We have equipment that we must operate and drive.
All
It
right.
will also be an excellent distraction in case they're caught and killed.
Wow, I
offense.
really feel like we shouldn't have said that out loud. Okay.
Um,
um,
I would, before they take away with the Jeep, I would like to go in and take what I assume are uniforms off of the two individuals that were in there.
Yeah. So like I said, they're wearing like black fatigues.
Yeah.
They are armed with not those children. There's bear with me here. I'll tell you exactly what they have on them. If I can find it. So they are carrying, each of them have a black market F903 WE assault rifle. It's not as good as your pulse rifles. So they have black market assault rifles. They have a pocket copy of Jan's Rudy's Dream Journals, 2 doses of X stims, and a rebreather mask.
Ooh.
Well,
Do we
I
have to
don't-
say if we're turning our masks on, or are we just having them actively on since we know it's bad here?
Well, you know that the nerve toxin was dropped on the Colonial rig, at the station, and it's present in the Grand Kavass. You're out just like in the middle of the desert right now. There's no nerve toxins.
we
out
should.
here.
And we did
should
bring the
take the-
Saberni kit, so
I
we can
don't-
test it when we get closer.
I don't suppose any of the fatigues will fit me.
Well, they're like robish, I
It's
think.
just so big.
so swole. We'll take the. I'm gonna take the rebreather because if we get that scientist, she's probably gonna need something.
Ooh, good
Is
point.
is that Stinger system a shoulder fired surface to air Stinger, or is it mounted on the plinth?
It's mounted on the Stinger vehicle.
Sergeant, I recommend we ensure that no Stinger missiles or ammunition is left with this Jeep. It could cause complications if we turn it over to civilians.
Correct. We should disable it in some manner.
I
I
believe
might-
that's what you do.
Yes,
Isn't
I
that
will
right,
do it
Sergeant?
right now. And he starts walking over there.
Did he really just say meow?
No, dear God. Question.
Yes.
I'd like to ask the. Are these? I'm sorry. They're the Arcturians.
These are the Arcturians. These are the
Okay,
ones who look like
Arcturians.
people. They have no
Okay.
eyebrows though. Their hair is braided and kind of like pulled
Yeah.
up, longer limbs, like really, really pale skin.
I'd like to ask them what happened when they were captured, how they were brought into the Grand Kivas. Like, I'd like to know how that what that process looked like.
Sure. They say we were there. What we do. The Grand Kavas is a welcoming place for new ships when they come down to the planet. We await their arrival. We welcome them. They came down in their ship, and they offloaded and systematically attacked people and opened fire and started blowing things up and released the nerve gas and rounded all of us up who were not affected by the initial assault. There are many who are in the central chamber of the Grand Kavas. They seemed very interested in that more than anything, where our archives are.
Had there been any Arcturians brought in after the fact?
Not from what I saw.
Okay. Never mind. My fake
Well,
capture.
Ariata
work.
is questioning them. Hanzo has gone over to the bodies of the two kills, and he's got his knife out, and he's digging the rounds out of
Sure. Sure, yeah, right off his forehead.
Seth says to get his out too, please.
Can I
Yes.
disable the
Yes, Chief.
stinger
Yeah, how do you want to disable those?
with my comtechery?
Sure, roll me
Would
a
it
com.
be-
Roll
would
me a
it
com.
Would it be
You-
Comtech?
heavy.
Yes,
Heavy
it would.
machinery.
I have
mean-
heavy machinery.
Heavy
Heavy
machinery. Oh, the squad's spoken. Heavy machinery to disable it.
Oh, I need to roll heavy machinery. Okay.
If you're the one who's doing it.
Or,
Dear
or
God. How many books have you read?
Don't worry. I've got this.
Uh huh.
So he goes over there, starts tinkering with it to try and like dismantle it, and one of the Arcturians gets on there, just starts firing the Gatling gun in the air.
No, they don't.
It doesn't shoot you, but or no, I'll just say that Quill's like, look, see, I disabled it. You put your hand on the trigger, and the Gatling gun just starts spinning.
You're like,
Spinning up.
Hmm.
God.
Seems like it's still working. It's a tough one.
Might I attempt to disable it?
You have permission to attempt to disable it.
I don't know if I'll do it, but we'll try.
It's almost like if you just let
There
me
we
roll
go.
comtech,
Alright.
it would have worked.
So Aradia goes over there. You take the tools from Quill, and you start tinkering. You pull out the firing pin and other mechanisms out of there, and you're like, there, done. See? It's not that hard.
No, I actually turn to Quill and I say, that was a very good attempt, Sergeant.
Thank you. I appreciate the confidence boost.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant, before we move out and let these civilians take this Jeep, I believe we should do enough damage to the enemy combatants' heads so that it's not readily apparent that they were killed with bullets.
Oh my, that is quite aggressive. Well, I'm going to be in the APC. Go ahead.
I'll go grab a rock and take care of that job.
I'd
Yes.
like to take their clothes and then run away.
I will
As
not
Clarence
witness
is
that.
deforming the skulls, I'll wrap their bodies in whatever we can, and I'll put them in the back of the Jeep.
Sure. Back of the
Say-
Stinger
and then I
Jeep.
say to the Arcturians, it's very important that you do not get caught with these bodies. But if you do, die quickly and don't tell anyone we're here.
Why'd you take a drink at that time?
Wow.
I saw it happening. Oh, that was great.
That was good.
Seth waits to receive his bullet trophy when Hanzo comes back in.
It's still. Well, no, actually, Hanzo will take his t-shirt up and clean it off, and he's like,
Yay.
"Good, Chief, good
Like,
shot."
Thank you, Hanzo. He takes it and puts it in his pocket. Well, the thing I like to imagine is the first time Seth met Hanzo, he didn't like him because Hanzo is the new sniper and Seth used to be the old sniper. But very quickly, he enjoys Hanzo because he gets the job done. He knows what's up.
Yeah. So you got guns, you got fatigues, you got these writings of Jan Cerruti, his dream journals, and you got some X stims and some
What if it
readers.
was X-Stems? I'll take the X-Stems for sure.
I mean, if there's free drugs around, we'll
not-
all be grabbing them.
They're not free drugs. Seth says he's like these
The medic
can use
is
them for-
yeah,
medical things.
Good
Is
call,
X-
Getting
Sergeant.
high. Like I don't.
Is X-Stems just the like X drugs? Is it the same
It's
thing?
a stimulant. It takes away all the stress.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Got it.
are we taking their advice and going in through the residential gate in the back?
Is that this back here?
No, residential gate. It's literally...
Well, how the hell are we gonna get there? Well, we still gotta get here first, right? And then go there.
You can go around the fence. Just drive around.
Is that the direction we saw?
Oh, that
come
fence
from?
just ends.
It just ends.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought there was like
okay.
a cliff or something.
No.
but Clearly.
You're in the mud now.
Yeah, we could drive around to around here, and then we could go over the butte by foot and approach the residential gate.
Quieter.
Yeah.
It is. I vote for quiet, Seth says.
I vote for quiet.
Sergeant,
Yes.
this isn't a democracy. We're actually just going to do what
No,
you
I
tell
was-
us to do.
It was a joke. As reconnaissance squad, we still need a name, but we'll come up with it. We're gonna go the quiet route, and we'll take the residential gate just like they did. They'll never see us coming.
They landed on their ship.
I'm a little interested in the Wayland Yutani mushroom farm.
Yeah.
It's up yonder, but if
Yeah.
my sergeant is taking us in one direction,
That's-
I would share my thought, but then also
It's the Colonial Rig and Trading Post Station, that whole area over there, yeah.
yeah.
I feel like this is a mission of expediency.
We have
That's
someone
fair.
to save. Well, multiple people to save, but one important person to save.
I just thought there might be some interesting things up there that we might be able to use. Because Wayland Yutani,
Mushrooms.
because mushrooms. Gas them right back.
Okay. So,
Sneaky way.
sneaky way. So you want to drive up and around. Go ahead and make me another piloting roll as we get up to the butte, and then we're going to go in by foot. Parker APC.
All right.
Oh, is that time for a push?
I'll push it.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so you expertly drive through this mud, back around. You're sure that you have not been seen by anyone. You find a perfect little abandoned cave to park the APC in that'll leave it undetected, and you find a path across the butte that looks like it's probably used by Arctura long ago that will shelter your approach and get you closer to the Grand Kavas.
Sweet.
With that many successes. Yeah.
Man, Quill is a great delegator.
All right. So you have the Grand Kavas in sight. You guys can approach it. You can go in through the residential gate. You're watching the back. I'm not going to make you roll observation. You don't see anyone milling about. You don't see Arcturians. You don't see these children of the two divines. You don't see anyone on the back side of this place. It's a whole bunch of circles kind of interconnected with pathways and walkways. From the sky, it almost looks like a bunch of crop circles, if you're going to relate it to something you've seen on Earth. Did you guys want to test the area for things or anything like that?
I think we should use the Bernie kit that we requisitioned.
Prior to us doing anything, let's assume that on our drive up there, I've been reading the dream journal. Let me know if I learned anything interesting from that dream journal.
One moment. Let me go to the dream journal page. So, yes, these are the writings. Look like the writings of a lunatic. This Jan Zarudi. He speaks of the two divines, and he is the grand seer of all of them. It's almost like a journal that he's written, more than like a history or anything like that. Okay. And it talks about him like wandering around one night and seeing these grand, vivid visions in the night sky, and also nightmares that trouble him. And it talks about these fallen gods and Nephilim, and these beings known as engineers that had lifetimes that spanned many millennia, and that through science and technology they attempted to create life. And despite having male and female forms, these beings abandoned sexual reproduction in a quest to become spiritual beings of power. And their kind feared the end of their legacy, and they thought it was coming near. And if they had not transcended existence before the line ran out, they would cease to exist. So they set out to find a way to continue on their lineage.
And this place is like fully lit up, like fully functional.
Oh yeah, there's lights. There's street lights shining, because like I said, it's constant twilight, so there are lights. There are kind of like they're cobblestone cobblestone roads. They're almost like carved into the rock and the stone around it. And these circular buildings are built beside them and in them and all around them.
Do they have Wi-Fi?
How so?
Okay.
I want to check to see if they have internet.
No.
A hacker's got a hack.
No.
Hack the planet.
I'm sorry, this is previous information. Did we leave from Fort Nebraska? Were we on Fort Nebraska?
You were heading back to Fort Nebraska at the beginning of this. You were sent out on a mission, and your frigate was heading back home when the news came in.
We didn't see any of the insanity stuff that happened, so there would be no way that I'd be like, oh, they're trying to ascend into these weird creatures that I've seen before.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't think that. Okay, cool. Okay.
Right.
Cool. All right. I relay that the book is a lot of really interesting and also creepy stuff.
A lot of mumbo jumbo. It also speaks about music that they produced, music of spheres. He claims that the Nephilim's senses are beyond comprehension. They can hear the hum of a quasar or a steady strum of a black hole from light years away. Their acute hearing makes music an important part of the Nephilim culture, so much that playing of particular notes is necessary to the operation of their technology. They not only hear music but can see it. And his interpretation of engineer hieroglyphs and pictograms indicate the fallen gods also possessed hypersensitive eyes that could see into different dimensions than ours do.
Okay.
Lots of crazy ramblings about these engineers and continuing their lineage and their DNA.
Is this residential gate electronic, or is it just like a wooden gate? Or
back to the gate. All right,
Okay.
all right. Hold on. Back to the gate. So the Grand Kavass. Like I said, they normally meet there to meet star travelers. The residential gate. Hold on. Why is it described on a different page? 2 of 46. It doesn't say. Yeah, it's just an open gate at the back there. Like, these are for the surrounding farmers to make their way to the Grand Kavass, whereas the main gate is to welcome other folks in there. So, There are shuttle buses. There's a shuttle bus that looks like parked just on the inside of the main gate. It's a Weyland-Yutani 37B cargo lifter transport sled. If that would look maybe familiar to Aradia, who once worked for Weyland-Yutani. It's quite common sight. It's a 48-passenger bus, and it's used to shuttle people back and forth here from what you can tell. There are carved roadways into the bedrock, and they're depressed about 2 meters deep from ground level. So these are like natural stone roads that kind of ramp up and in and around these buildings and these circular buildings.
Is there any actual active traffic on the roads at all?
There is no traffic. There's nobody moving. There's no signs of these Bao terrorists. There's no vehicles. Nothing. It is dead. It's dead silent. There's no activity.
By my math on the map, we have about 3K of a hike to get to the Grand Crevasse. Would you want to walk? I could forward scout, or we could drive a kilometer or two towards it and go from there.
Well, we have the vehicle parked, right, in like a cave.
Right.
So I guess we're just hoofing it until we get close enough.
I recommend we stay on foot so as not to draw attention to ourselves by any other roaming patrols.
Permission to get out in
Sergeant.
front.
Permission granted. I'll stay in the back. Don't worry, I got it. Back here.
Okay. So you want to approach... I'm assuming, Clarence, you want to go in first, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
Sneaking well
Go-
in advance.
Go ahead and make me your mobility roll as you get up to the residential gate ahead of everyone else. You're going to, signal back or radio back to the others if it's clear? So you get up there. You assume no one can see or hear you. Do you have your rebreather on, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll have my rebreather in.
I'm assuming
Okay.
we all put them on once we got to the APC since we're
Yeah.
that close.
Okay, you get close. It is silent in the area. You've got these roads that are carved into the bedrock all around you. There's just that shuttle bus is sitting there. There doesn't seem to be any signs of activity. The door is wide open on it. The roads are completely devoid of any traffic. The closest building to you, though, appears to be, based on the signage, would be a landing platform that a ship would come in and land on. You know the Grand Crevasse is the building in the center, and that's where you were told that most of the hostages are, but you have these other buildings and places to check out along the way.
As I'm going forward, I'll radio back to Quinn. Do you want me to investigate any of these additional locations?
If it seems safe to you, go ahead.
If you want...
We're in enemy territory. Nothing is safe here.
I cannot see what you can see.
Because the coast is clear here, I'll let the rest of you now come up to where he is, like where the bus is, where the shuttle bus is parked, if you want, without having to make stealth rolls. He's confirmed the area is clear, and he can continue to systematically make his way through if you want. Or how do you want to approach this? You don't have to all just sit out on the butte.
Well, you said they're all connected like by circles, right?
Yeah, there's roads going into all these different circular buildings.
It's not like bridges or pathways, like it's just roads.
It's roads carved into the rock.
okay.
Yeah.
Do any of these outlying buildings have entrances into the Grand Crevasse, or is it only through the interconnecting roadways?
It's only through the interconnecting roadways. Good question.
Would I know anything special about being on this Weyland-Yutani commuter bus? Would I know anything like that might be on this that could be of use to us?
You know, it's very, very standard make and model. It's in actually the core rule book. If you
Oh,
let me just flip to it and I'll tell you.
okay.
Let me tell you. No, it's used mostly in the frontier colonies, at large space stations and star freighters, just to move people around. Nothing special to it at all.
Okay.
Do we see any like security cameras or any sort of like that type of thing.
Make me an observation roll.
All right.
You want me to do the observation as I was the one leading?
Both rolling
That's
observation?
nice.
All right. So there are cameras. There's a single camera in this area. It looks like it looks down on where the shuttle bus would park. So it'd be watched from somewhere and observe people coming and going.
Can
With Clarence's stealth roll, I'm gonna say you weren't picked up on it.
Okay. And it looks like these other buildings also have power, right?
Yes, there's power throughout. As far as you can see, there's lights lit up all over the place. It's like it is twilight, right? So there are kind of like street lights or lamps hanging off of the buildings that are emitting light.
Am I able to direct everyone around its view?
Yeah, I'll say with your roll, that's easily.
Let's keep those rolls coming then.
Clarence, you want to move? You want to do another mobility and check out the
Yep,
next closest
I'll-
building?
I'll move forward.
All right, so you make your way up to the next building, and you can hear some murmurs from here as you get closer. You can hear people crying. You can hear shouting. And you poke your head in there. With your roll, you got 2 successes. You can see that this is, in fact, a landing bay. There is a ship there that looks like it's heavily damaged. There are dozens of Arcturian bodies and human bodies littering this landing platform. And it looks like there is a crew of 8 Arcturian roughnecks working on the damage to the ship. And there are 2 children of the 2 divines there with guns, yelling at them and directing them and forcing them to repair their ship. They have not noticed you. They are too busy ordering around these Arcturian roughnecks.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull my sword radio back to the team and say we have 2 hostiles inside this building. Permission to eliminate.
I have a question about grenades. What do you roll? Ranged attack? Ranged combat?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
And then it's
going
based
to-
off the blast radius number you rolled.
Yeah, I'm
DC.
going to hand a grenade to Hanzo. Hold on. I'll say, look, you and Clarence, go deal with this. This will stun them, and then you guys can take them out. And I hand him a G2 electroshock grenade.
Yes, sir.
I can't really throw that far, so...
Sir, are we not trying for any type of infiltration using the armor that we found that makes us look like the...
They really are surrounded by like 15 bodies. Something tells me they're just going to shoot at anything that comes near them. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Even their own people. Got it, Sergeant. I listen to you. Whatever you think.
They could put on if they want to put on the stuff, but I'm sure
I don't think any of us put it
the
on.
2 murder hobos don't really want to sit there and get dressed.
Jen's technically a murder hobo.
Jen
Yeah,
can
I
go in
am.
there with her knife. I don't care. I'm just trying to get the grenade to go off first, and then you guys run in.
I'll
Because if
execute
it
your
works,
plan, Sergeant.
if it works, they're stunned for a round. They
I'll
don't do
let
anything.
Clarence and Hanzo do their thing and be like, I'm taking notes on how to be quiet. And then watch a grenade go off.
It's an EMP grenade.
Makes no noise.
Yeah, makes
Am
no
I
noise.
able
nice.
to get Hanzo up to with me?
Seth would also ask Sergeant Quill if should I join Hanzo and Clarence in case they somehow get injured? I can make sure they are not dead.
Sure, I'll keep an eye out back here with
Oh,
a radio.
perfect.
She'll keep me safe.
No, it won't.
Seth,
I can't. I'll make noise if I keep you safe. So, okay, we'll see what happens. We'll see.
All right, so electroshock grenades. I'm just reading this here for everybody. Medium range when used as a hand grenades. For tossing these as hand grenades. These grenades are called electro ball breakers, with good reason. When deployed, they propel themselves about 3 feet off the ground before releasing a mega voltage electric pulse. Their usually non-lethal shock is still strong enough to freeze a person's central nervous system. These weapons are good for crowd control. When there's only one seat left on the last shuttle to leave a space station stuck in a decaying orbit around a gas giant, pop a few of these. All humans in the target zone must make a hard stamina roll or be stunned for a round. So that's what you want to toss that in there. We're going to get the roughnecks in there and all that, but we're good with it.
Well, it's just stunning them. It's not like going to actually physically hurt them.
Okay. All right.
That's what the sergeant said. That's what I'm gonna do.
We'll do this, and then we're at the end of our time. So let's do some grenades, and we'll leave off there. So
I like that.
That's the plan. So Hanzo is going up there with some electroshock grenades, and that's the approach. You don't want Clarence going in there and slashing throats or anything like that.
No, I want Clarence to like go in as the grenade goes off and then go kill him.
But Clarence will also get electroshocked.
I mean, Clarence also has 9
right
strength.
after the grenade.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll chuck the grenade. It'll go off. I'll shoot one. Clarence will kill the other.
And Steph's there too, so he can shoot one if he wants or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever we can quietly do to get rid of him.
Yeah, shooting's not quiet, but okay.
I'm like, shooting? I'm
swords are.
not allowed to shoot.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted him to go with
I
the sword.
swear to effing God, if you send people in there to shoot and you don't send me, I'm so mad at you, Sergeant.
Seth has his surgical scalpel. He pulls it out.
Hanzo nods and pulls out his knife in his other hand and his grenade in one
I literally
hand.
said our radio can go with a knife. I don't care. You guys can all go knife them.
All right. So are we knifing or are we grenading?
Knifing. Grenade,
Both.
then the knife. I don't know why this is not a
All right.
two-part plan.
So who's throwing the grenade? Go ahead and make me that roll, please.
Whew.
All right. So you toss. Oh, roll your stress. Nervous twitch. Your stress level and the stress level of all other friendly PCs at short range increased by 1. So that means Seth.
I'm not there.
Seth
Yep.
and Clarence. I almost called you Arnold. Goes up by 1.
Done.
I see the stress happen and I put on one of the robes.
But the grenade rolls in there, finds its mark, jumps up 3 feet, and all of a sudden this shock just dissipates across the room. These guys aren't going to make their roll, but I'll roll just for fun.
So hard is like a -2 or something?
It's a -2. Yeah. They already have a... They have no attribute once you put a -2 in there. All right, so they just freeze. So do all the roughnecks. They're just frozen in spot. Hanzo and Clarence, are you going in there?
Yep.
Now, is this a coup de grace?
I mean, it
I don't know,
probably
it-
should be.
It is a coup de grace.
Yeah.
Are you going? You're going in there to slit their throats while they're
Yeah.
while they're.
Wow.
So that means we need to fail something to pull off a coup de grace.
They have like no empathy.
Oh.
You guys got this.
Yeah, they have.
So
like,
coup de
no
grace.
empathy.
A broken character is defenseless. If it's human, you have to fail an empathy roll.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this a situation where they're gonna see some shit and get real sad?
Oh!
Oh, Hanzo apparently is.
Okay.
Yeah, they walk in, they wade through the bodies, and they freeze up. Hanzo, a nervous twitch again. All right, that means Seth and Clarence both get another stress.
Yep.
See, aren't
We're
you
at
glad you're not
3.
there, Jin?
And so
Oh, yeah.
Seth, you're watching them, and they go in there, and they're kind of stepping over the bodies, and they can't do it. They get close, and they kind of freeze up the two of them. Do you want to push that, Clarence?
Actually, we failed our empathy
failed.
rolls.
No,
so-
they-
Oh, you failed. I'm
Good.
sorry. That's what you
Yeah.
want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they go in there. They wade through the bodies, and they go up there, and they just slit the throats of the two children of the first two divines, and walk in there. Blood sprays on the ship. You can see that the Arcturian roughnecks are watching, like, in horror. Their eyes are wide. Their eyes are bigger than normal humans, and they have, like, really big black pupils as well. Their eyes are even, like, wider than usual. They're just like, ah! As you sneak, these two Marines sneak in the room, get up behind, and just slit the throats of these bioterrorists. And the bodies drop to the ground, and after a few moments, the Arcturian roughnecks, they unfreeze and like, oh, where'd you come from? Are the Marines here? Are they here to save us?
We will protect you. Yes, Seth says.
Chief, is that accurate?
2 successes on 15 dice.
He radioed you back there, Quill. Is that accurate? Are they protecting that?
No, he said chief. He doesn't call me chief.
Oh,
That's Bones.
oh, Bones.
Oh, yeah, that's true. He's like, well, we were supposed to keep the hostages safe, correct? These are the hostages, are they not?
That's a good point, Chief.
We
Good
should-
point.
Well,
Sergeant,
we could-
I'm a little strung out at the moment. I need to catch my breath.
oh, here's some drugs.
You
Are
giving
we in
him
a
some?
safe place? Are we in a safe place now?
We can go in there and close
Um,
the doors and
You
take a
could go
nap.
in there.
Oh,
A little
okay.
fiver.
One of
Is
the
it-
Yeah.
the roughnecks go. This is their ship. It was damaged by the Marines that are stationed here when they dropped the nerve gas on them, and they forced us to repair it for them so they can get off planet when they're done here with us.
Can I like just hardwire this shit to not work? Like do something, disable it.
You want to
I mean, I
hack?
don't
You want to
wanna
get?
make
You
it- I
want to
wanna
get into
hack it. I
the
don't
into the
wanna freak-
computer
yes,
bits
I don't
here.
wanna
You want to do
freak
something with the electronics? Is that what I'm getting at? You don't
Yes.
want to just throw a wrench into the engine and
Just-
hope it
yeah,
doesn't
so
work?
I
like
have a
from the-
grenade.
From the outside, it would look like normal, but the inside would be all fucked.
Well, the outside's fucked up. Like it's
but I'm saying, like,
charred.
I'm saying,
There's
like,
like
you wouldn't-
huge, massive damage done to it.
They're not gonna think the computers are destroyed, messed up. Like they're gonna think, oh, it's just the outside.
You could go into the ship, into the cockpit, and you could mess with the computers with your comtech.
Finally.
Oh, I know that's what you want. This is the SS Penitent Man. This is the Children of the Two Divines ship. So you're gonna go in there, comtech. You go into the cockpit. There are no other cultists in here. You get in there, you jack in, you start messing around with the software of the ship itself, and you turn off all sorts of safety checks and things like that. And you're pretty confident they can get this thing in the air, but it's going to not respond or malfunction once they're up in the air. The computer workings of it.
They'll be like, oh, it's working fine, and then crash. Yeah.
And I think we could leave off there. We're
Good
in the target zone. We're getting closer. We're almost there, and we could pick up next week Sunday to try and rescue these Arcturians, not Arctura, and find out what's going on here in the Grand Kavas with the Children of the Two Divines. Jen, you had a reroll too. We'll have to remember that next week.
Yeah, I get to bank that.
Yeah.
I also had something else I wanted to do while we were taking a thing.
Yes.
but-
What do you want to do?
So, I would like to use banter and lower everybody's stress level by 2 right now, assuming this is a safe place, which I asked, but I didn't really get any.
Yes,
answer
you can close the door, lock the door here, and you, as far as you know, this is a safe place. Even though there's dead bodies
Awesome.
everywhere, you have liberated these 8 Arcturian roughnecks.
There's 8 of them. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hanzo sits down on one of the dead bodies and relaxes for a minute while he listens.
I'm gonna
I like-
walk over and congratulate Hanzo on his shot earlier. Now that we get a chance to talk.
Thanks, Clarence. That was thanks to your spotting. You led me right to the kill shot.
Same with Seth. Not bad, old man.
Oh, and Seth already. When you go to turn to Seth has like 2, like snack bars held out, handing them to Clarence and Hanzo. You two did perfect. Here, you deserve these snacks.
Hope the next time I get to use my sword, the guy's not unconscious.
Snack bars. It's a holiday here. I want to play this again tomorrow. I want to finish this mission. All right, let's do round table. Jen, what do you got going on this week? Where can people find you?
This week, every morning, I play Animal Crossing, and I'm at the very end of Resident Evil Village, so I'm probably going to be playing through that now that I can scream freely in my house without fear of scaring my children.
Can you?
Yeah, I can, thankfully. I can scream freely without terrifying them. And yeah, that's basically it. There's lots of murder in my Animal Crossing, though, too. So Gentendo is my Twitch handle. You can find me there.
All right, Tyler.
Yeah, I have an RPG called Law and Order that I run every other Friday. So not this Friday, but next Friday over on my channel of Foolish GM. And I might be playing Fable 3 this week. But so keep an eye or give me a follow. And so when I do that, you'll get notified, I guess, if that's how it works.
Yeah. Yeah. What he said. Apparently I'm not following you. I just followed your channel. How was I not following
Wow! Thank
you?
you.
Ooh, sorry, Tyler.
Okay.
Bill.
I understand.
As of now, you can no longer see me here and now. You will have to wait till next week this time.
There you go. Evan.
Yeah, Tuesday, Garblack Games at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be doing some escape with Skullcano Island and maybe finally finding a kaiju. Maybe.
And making Matt cry.
And making him cry when it dies.
And Aaron?
Same thing on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, back on Garblack Games at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th Edition playthrough.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the very first stream game in this Frontier War campaign. I'm excited that we're doing Alien. I love Forbidden Lands, but I also love Alien. They're my two favorite free games, so they're like your children. You can't really choose a favorite. You're not supposed to. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back next Sunday, same time. We're going to continue this adventure. We're working our way through the Frontier War campaign. We'll see you all next week, Sunday. Have a great week, everybody.